Hello, it's Jill and welcome to my craft. Last video that I did, I made some backgrounds with different inks on my gel press, and I was going to show you how I make some bookmarks from them. So what I've done basically is I've coloured the other side of them so that I've got a double-sided bookmark. And then I've got the little sleeves, which were these little PVC bookmark sleeves, 6 pieces in a pack. They are 55 centimeters, millimeters width. And the length, as you can see, is a lot longer than my 7-inch plate. So all I've done with that is I will just pop them into there and actually cut the top of the sleeve off. So you've still got a decent bookmark. So initially what I've done is I've cut the pieces down to that 55 millimeters width so that they actually slot into the sleeve, which I've now put aside. There we go. So it actually goes into that sleeve like that. Okay, so these are some of the ones that I've done. These are all using Inkylicious stamps. So I've stamped onto the watercolour card and then coloured in with some watercolour pencils. And this little one here, again Inkylicious, that was the Banksy inspired one. Again, all Inkylicious stamps. And then we've got this one here. This one's part way through being done. And then on the back, all I've done is stamp some words. And the words that I've got are live life and some people in life. So they're quite nice sets of stamps. So for the Banksy one, Banksy inspired, I've just used one word here. So I'm going to show you how I've done that with a little bit of masking. So, right, let's get going. So let's get out a little bit of card, and I'm going to go with this piece of card here. It's got some nice, interesting bits and pieces on it. And where is she? Let's get our little girl. Where have you gone, my lovely? There she is over there. Okay, so let's get my block. Let's have this one here. Craft table's a mess at the moment. But there she is. Let's pop her onto there. Like so. And the balloon. Yeah, I think I'll put the balloon on separately. So I'm going to go in VersaFine Claire in black. Or specifically Nocturne. I think that up nicely like that. And I think we'll have it just about that. Like so, let's just give that a bit of pressure. And just let this ink take to the piece of card. Incidentally, this particular one that I'm using here was done on the Lavinia card. So it's not quite so textured as this kind here. So when I'm stamping on this particularly one here, I really used my needed to use my stamp press because I needed to go in a couple of times with it. But for this one, she's going to come out absolutely fantastic. There she is there. Let's pop her over there. Let's go with the balloon. And I'll take that off because sure as eggs is eggs, that will stain if I don't. And there we go. Let's just pop that there so that it's just on the bookmark itself. Just lovely. Superb. A little bit shadowy, but I don't think that really matters with this style of stamp. And then we're going to go in with one of the little rabbits. Again, that's a Inkylicious set. That's called, I don't think it has a name. There we go. But it's 3 little bunny rabbits. And there's the little tiny bunny rabbit there. Let's find a little block. Just to add a little bit more interest for her than just being the little girl with a balloon. Not that that's not good on its own, but I just thought it would be lovely to have a little bunny rabbit. There he is, just sitting there. Just let that soak in for a moment. There we go. Right, that's that done. Right, now the wording. Let me find the stamp. Needless to say, I've put that down somewhere else in the pile of stuff. Where are you? Oh, no, wrong one. So I've done my word fly, and unfortunately I lost a bit of video. So what I'm going to do is show you how to mask off anyway using a different word on here with my Make-A-Wish. We're going to use the word dream. So you just need some post-it notes, and then you just mask off the bits that you don't want. It is that simple. So we just stick that down there. Another one across the top here. These are nice big words, so they're easy to do. And this is exact technique that I've used for the word fly. And there we go. So then just going without ink. Ink up the word dream. And then remove all of this. Make sure your stamp's clean initially, otherwise it is going to make a bit of a mess everywhere else. So we know we only want the word dream. Just going to pop that there. Or in the case of this little girl, fly. And there we go. That should take all right. So we've just got the one word. And then all I've done with this is taken a black permanent pen and just done a little box around it. And that just highlights the word. Just do a double line. Doesn't matter if it's squiff or whatever. You can do a few little squiggles here, a few little squiggles there, a few dots somewhere. And that looks really quite nice like that. And then you've got a beautiful little word. So with the fly, I've done that already. Let's come back to that one. Now we're going to stamp some leaves all around it. So again, we're going to mask off. Just get my little post-it note, and all I'm going to do is cover over the word fly, like so. I don't want it too big because I want the leaves go around it. Yep, that's a sticky bit. I want it to be in the middle of the leaves. There we go. So that's that done. Let's lose all that. And then I've got another Inkylicious stamp. This one's called Olive Branch. So I'm just going to get my little bit of paper just from my overspill. Like so. And I'm going to go in with some Twilight for this one. I'm just going to do a nice little frame around the top. Like so. Brilliant. A bit more stamping around here. This is quite a nice leafy stamp, this one. Let's pop in a little bit of something around there. A bit more ink on the edges there. Second, third generation. There we go. That does that quite nicely. And then we can take the little mask off. And there we are. It's just sitting in the middle of the trees, which is quite nice. Now the other thing I wanted to do with her is I want to ground her. I don't want her flying in the air. So I've actually got some little masks here. These are the Twin Peaks ones. And I've taken the little one from out in the middle here. So I'm just going to ground her and the rabbit because I don't want her flying in the air. I've got some Distress in Rustic Wilderness and my little egg. Let's just see if we can get that so that it's not, doesn't look odd. Let's find a suitable piece. Right, that piece is okay for the rabbit. Just don't want too much there for the moment. And then move that along so that the little girl's grounded as well. Let's go with that, I think. It looks like they're standing on a lovely grassy bank. Yeah, cool. And then what I want to do is just add a tiny bit more depth of colour. So I'm going to come back in with the Twilight. And I've got one of these little makeup sponges, which is quite good for this kind of thing. Let's just put a little bit of dark, and I've lost which bit I used. Which bit did I use? I think we went there, didn't we? Yes, I'm just going to give it a nice little dark edge in. Just add a bit of depth of colour. Like so. And where are you, my lovely? Did we go with that? It's about right. We'll go with that. Yeah, so just add that tiny bit of shadow almost. Looks quite nice. Now what I want to do is I just want to brighten her up a little bit and add a few little highlights of pen. So I've got my white pastel pencil here. I'm just going to come in here just to colour her up a little bit. Just make it pop a little bit more. That's good. And then my white pen here, let's make sure that's running properly. Funny habit of not running properly, these pens. This is my Signo Uniball. No, let's try the other one. I always keep two because one of them's bound not to work. No, back in with this one again. Right, just put a tiny bit of highlight just here. Tiny bit around the rabbit here. Lie. There we go. And then just to finish this one off, I'm going to finish the back off with the word stamps again. There we are. And I'm coming in black. Put it back onto there again for the moment. And it just gives something a bit of interest to the back of the bookmark, really. There we go. Fabulous word stamps, these. As I said, you can pick out any bits you like or print the whole lot, stamp the whole lot. Okay, that finishes that off nicely. And then just to go around the edge, I wanted a bit of a contrast, so I think I'm going to go with the VersaFine Claire in Warm Breeze mini brush here. I use any kind of brushes that I've got to hand. And that just gives that slight contrast. Build that up a bit better there. There we go. All I need to do with that is slide it into my sleeve, which has disappeared again. That'll be this one. So you can do the back as well if you like, but I rather like the back as is. Pop it into your sleeve. There we are. Cut the end off. And then you can just go in with your crocodile. There's the crocodile. It's here. Bear with me. Crocodile. Make a hole. And we've got a rivet thing there. There we go. And all you need to do is find yourself a little tassel or something like that. But those look really fabulous. I'll just clean this up. And there we go. So you can see all the different techniques there, the different ones. I'll show you how to do this bit around the edge here. Right, so you get yourself a one that's already stamped up. Let's go with the card out of that. I've got another stamp here called Twiggy Branch. So what I've done, I've gone in with the Fine Claire in the Twilight. You could use a little crackle stamp or something like that. It just has that nice vintagey, almost aged look to it. This is quite a thin twig, doesn't overpower. So that adds sort of a bit of age to that. And then what I do is take the ink pad to the bookmark, and I'm quite generous with this, sliding up and down. You see that ink is really quite wet on there. And then same for this bit, all the way around the edge. So that really is wet ink. And then all you do is you just blot it off onto a piece of paper. And it just adds those little, it's like old looking edges. If you want to add a bit more, go in with a bit more, blot again. There you go, and you get almost like that ink splats, which basically is this really. Like so. You want to come up onto the page a bit more, you can go like that. But anyway, that's how to make, or how I made the little bookmarks. So I'm going to leave you to have a bit of fun, see how you get on. Hopefully that's given you a few techniques. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye now.